swearing in of Uhuru Kenyatta as the President of the Republic of Kenya on Tuesday. The 300 million shilling ceremony will be held at the 60,000-seater Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. 7 other presidential candidates in the annulled August 8th election and the October 26th repeat poll, including his arch-rival Raila Odinga and their running mates, have been invited to that event. And even as the preparations go on, opposition coalition NASA says it will hold a memorial service at Jacaranda grounds in Nairobi to mourn those killed by police during demonstrations against repeat elections. The police, on the other hand, are saying they're not aware of any gathering to be held on Tuesday, apart from President Uhuru Kenyatta swearing in. And as all this is going on, the president is now appealing to all leaders, his competitors included, to let Kenya heal after a tedious, prolonged electioneering period and allow the government to embark on its developmental agenda. Perhaps sensing the divide in the country, KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli is even asking religious leaders to be in the front line and ensure there is dialogue between President Uhuru Kenyatta and NASA leader Raila Odinga.
Neno la amani na neno la umoja, na kuahidi siku ya leo, vile nimesema hapo awali, ya kwamba jukumu langu la kwanza ni amani kwa wananchi wote.
And it would also be interesting and important to mention that political analysts are the very reason why the President of the Republic of Kenya does not watch TV or read newspapers. Well, yeah, anymore. A very good evening to you people. This is Crossfire. Let's have a conversation about what has happened in the country the last 1 week as we count down to that swearing-in ceremony of President Uhuru Kenyatta. So in studio to my immediate right, we have Odoyo Owidi. He's a political analyst. And right next to him, we have Ambrose Weda, who's a lawyer, stroke political analyst. The gentleman the president is clearly not very happy with. So before we start this conversation, let's take a look at the preparations that are currently going on with respect to the swearing-in of Uhuru Kenyatta.
At the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, it is a beehive of activity. Its final touches here and over there on what might as well be the final day of preparations ahead of Tuesday's second swearing-in of President Uhuru Kenyatta for his final term in office. So this one goes the Committee on Assumption of Office, led by Chair Joseph Kinyua, says it's all systems go for the event, which will cost the taxpayers a pretty penny.
Well, we are not really spending a lot of money what we have been able to put together, and we think it is adequate. It is slightly above 300 million Kenyan shillings. That is adequate when we look at what we need.
All right, so Uhuru Kenyatta will be sworn in on Tuesday. He's invited a couple of people, including NASA leader Raila Odinga. Owidi, let me begin with you. From where you sit, do you think maybe Raila Odinga should just go and sit in at the swearing ceremony in solidarity with the rest of the country?
If Raila Odinga were to do that, he would have swallowed all he had said before. And I don't think he's ready to do anything like that. You know, Raila Odinga does not recognize the 26th of October elections. And Uhuru Kenyatta is being sworn in on the basis of that thing that they call elections, which we don't call one. I know Ambrose will tell you that, oh, you know, the Supreme Court authenticated it and upheld it. Of course, we sympathize with them because we all in NASA know they were under siege. We know they were...
Who was under siege already?
The Supreme Court.
Is that
they
a fact?
had no option. Of
Is
course,
that a fact?
It's a fact because we have listened to what President Uhuru Kenyatta said after the other election. He even said he would deal with them thereafter.
But even NASA leader Raila Odinga at some point said this was the one time for the Supreme Court to sort of redeem itself.
Of course, but he didn't say he would deal with anyone. When somebody promises we will deal with you, and you know he's the commander-in-chief of the Kenya Armed Forces, which includes Air Force, Jeshi la Nchi Kavu, the police, and we know what the police can do even if you are an infant. The police in Kenya, even if you are an infant, they will rungu you. So what is the Chief Justice? They will rungu him. So definitely we know the ruling went the way it did. because they were understood.
Okay, so Owidi, whichever way the ruling went, we're having a swearing-in ceremony on Tuesday. We're spending over 300 million Kenya shillings. What are your thoughts about the amount, first of all? My dear, you know, that amount, first of all, if I don't talk about even people who get power through a coup are also sworn in. What is happening here, this amount, 394 million, is enough to build 4 stadiums in the counties. And we are using this to collect a group of people and carry a Bible before them. Honestly, even when they are not been sworn in, they still waste our resources this much. Whether we are in for a rough time. Whether.
What do I say? You know, these people who are going to Canaan, but they went via Libya, and they are stuck there so small. When they hear 300 million, they think, oh. I think the first question was whether Honorable Raila Odinga,
the president is clearly
himself should attend. I think, I know Honorable Raila Odinga is hurting. He feels heavy-hearted over the process of elections, like all other candidates who almost got the prize. But there is a higher ideal, the people of Kenya, the country. And the invitation, they should view it more as a brotherly hand from the president. And that requires him to live above, live up to where he is. He's a great man, very great. If he did not have the hang-ons like Owedi and the rest, Honorable Raila is a very respectable, great man who loves Kenya. Why do I say so? In 2007, the gentleman would have sworn himself in, and blood would have flowed freely. He went beyond and said, it is enough, we will talk. And even when we were still arguing whether he has gotten half loaf or quarter loaf or 3 quarters, he said, what I have gotten is enough, a deal is a deal. That was the time he could have allowed Kenyans to continue butchering themselves. It is not as bad as it is today. So in that background, and the love he has for this country, and for all of us, and for the children and the grandchildren, you know he loves his grandchildren, he would look beyond President Uhuru, beyond Honorable William Ruto, and into the bigger picture of the country and say, I will come to that occasion for the sake of the people of Kenya. But I plead with the hang-ons, those who want to inherit the mantle, people like Honorable Rengo, the others, Owedi here, they want to push him to continue fighting so that they look like heroes next to him. Do this, we will swear if you swear. We count if you count. You know, some kind of shenaniganism, some noise that is meant to make them heroes. But they are making our hero, Honorable Raila Odinga, to look like them. Now, I am appealing once more that the patriotism that he showed in 2007, I am pleading he shows it now.
Okay, so while you're saying that, I know for a fact that NASA are planning what they're calling a mourning function for individuals who were killed during the demonstrations. Could we listen into what Musalia Mudavadi had to say?
To ignore the despotic coronation of Uhuru Kenyatta on Tuesday, 28th November 2017, and instead join us in person at Jacaranda Grounds, Nairobi, or in spirit to mourn the lives of our dearly departed men, women, and children who have paid the highest price for exercising their basic constitutionally guaranteed right of political dissent through peaceful protest.
Okay, so that is NASACO Principal Musalia Mudavadi saying, asking Kenyans to come and mourn with them. They're holding, they will have a function at the Jacaranda Stadium just to remember the individuals who were killed during the protest. Owedi, on a day that the country wants to swear in an elected president and you have a counter function by NASA, isn't that a recipe for a disaster, so to speak?
Linda, why do you keep on going to elected? There was no election after the 8th one. Even that one was nullified. We are still waiting for a proper, verifiable election, transparent election. You know, when Ambrose Weda comes here and tells, oh,
but surely, Owedi, we all watched the IEBC chair, Wafula Chebukati, say Uhuru Kenyatta won. Granted, not, I think about, what, 30% of Kenyans, 70% didn't vote, going to the numbers we have. But still, he was elected during that repeat election.
Let me tell you, there are many people who get jobs, even here, I'm sure. If you go throughout the standard media employees, you must have one masquerading with a certificate from a stolen exam. This is somebody who's going to be sworn in with a stolen election. So he's going to be sworn in with a certificate he doesn't deserve. This is where our position is. So we cannot, even this here thing I hear everybody, people are talking, let's go talk. You are talking with somebody when he's being sworn in with a certificate that we believe is stolen.
So dialogue is not even an option you'd consider?
To dialogue about what? You know, we can only dialogue to reach a free and fair election for both parties. But you see, one side doesn't want a free and fair election. Why? You know, we are not saying, let's have dialogue so that Raila Odinga becomes president, Uhuru becomes the opposition chief. No, we are talking of having a free and fair election. If he beats us in a free and fair election, we will attend the swearing in ceremony. So
you're still having this function on Tuesday?
That function is going to be there. Why should it not be there? And we are just going to be praying. Because, you see, when Weda says that, you know, Raila Odinga is hurting, Raila Odinga is not hurting. The pain in him is on behalf of the Kenyans who have suffered under the hands of these guys. These guys who Weda served so diligently are very bad people. They kill even infants, not children, infants.
Weda, on one hand you have the swearing in, on one hand you have a mourning function, and they're saying it's not a rally per se, we're just going to mourn the people who died. But the question is, and that is the question that a lot of people are putting across, why couldn't this mourning function be put probably on a different day? Why on a day that probably the whole world is looking at Kenya? What are your thoughts?
I think my heart goes out for the people who have lost their lives in the political process. Either way, the loss of life cannot be justified. It's a very sad, irreversible event. And we ask our Lord Jesus Christ to console the families. The swearing in on Tuesday is not President Uhuru's making. It is the law. It is the Constitution. Him being declared president is not himself. It is the law. It is the Constitution. The country itself needs somebody to steer it. This time, it is President Uhuru who has to be sworn in by Tuesday. If it was just anybody's whims, he would have been sworn on a Saturday or on a Friday, near the weekend, not at the beginning of the week. So as much as we are mourning, when you also set your mourning on a Tuesday, it is basically to coincide, to share what they would look at limelight, or just to paint the swearing-in ceremony and the president in bad light, that you people are celebrating, you are eating, and these people are dead. It is good to mourn the dead, but it is bad to dance on their graves, to continue furthering our own political ambitions. It's unfortunate they died in a political process. Either some were shot wrongly by whoever, by police, some were hit and trampled on. Very wrong. But to stand on their graves and continue furthering is actually very, very sad. And I plead with our brothers on those sides that when people lose their lives, let us mourn them, but let us not use them as weapons to fight our enemies. I know that the swearing in will go on. If NASA and NRM wants to continue, they can continue engaging the president. The president will continue engaging them. But for a day like that, it would have been more decent just to say, swear yourself in, you will be sworn in. The following day, we engage. But if they have chosen that path, the path of dancing over the graves of the dead people, so be it. But I pray to our Lord Almighty that as we steer the country forward, let us console each other. Okay. Let us touch each other. Let us not use a body, a dead body, to do what is being planned on Tuesday. I'm also praying, and I know the president is open-armed. That's why he has invited them. That's why I said, my brothers, whatever we have gone through, come close. You make first step, second step. And I can see Honorable Raila will make that step. All he needs to do is to put people like COVID in the back room with a cup of tea and Coca-Cola.
In the back, right?
Then as they drink, or those who want beer, as they drink themselves lame, he will engage the president and things will be better. I know he's a good man. Okay. I know President Uhuru is open-hearted, nice.
So both of them from where you sit are good men.
Oh, yes. So these people are just painting dead. But I can see brilliance as we are moving forward.
I can't accept that. You know what is happening? If President Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to be sworn in a good atmosphere without mourning, he needed to have stopped his policemen from butchering Kenyans, who had even told him, we are going to have a peaceful protest. In fact, on the when this guy is butchered people who went to the airport, they had promised we are going to peacefully meet Raila Odinga as he comes back. And the funny thing, they went to the airport, they didn't throw tear gas at them, but when they were on their way back, so I don't know whether they wanted these people to go back and stay at the airport. Because all the tear gas, all the butchering, all the bullets flew when these people were coming back from the airport. It is the airport that Koome did not want them to go to. Finally, they found themselves there.
Okay.
Why were they being tear gassed when they were coming back from the airport?
Granted, but...
Why were they being shot when they were coming back from the airport? Where did the police want them to go?
Already that happened.
Yes.
What Weda is saying is that NASA is, quote-unquote, dancing on the graves of this individual.
In fact, the people dancing on the graves of these people is Jubilee, who are going to celebrate when the people they killed are still on the ground. These people were killed by arms of government. They were shot dead. There was a lady who was shot dead in her own bedroom. That is dead. And she was a widow, having a child who is going to live to suffer. This is the same police force that killed an infant. An infant is a baby below in months. This is the same police force that killed a student. And now they want to go and celebrate their murderous events. So if President Uhuru Kenyatta didn't want to dance on the graves of people, he should have asked the policemen, leave those NASA people to go to the airport and come back, then we have peace. All the butcherings that have happened in Kenya of citizens have happened because police has intervened on otherwise very peaceful demos. More people die when the police intervene than when they let people do what they got to do.
Direct question, Owidi. Do you see a clash on Tuesday with the police are very categorical?
With people like Japheth Koome as head of police in Nairobi, you expect a clash. But if you got somebody a little bit much more sensible, he will say, okay, they are going to Jacaranda. Let's go to Kasarani. Let's stand on the way to see. In case they want to cause any trouble, we will stop them. But if they don't, let them do what they got to do. This is a free Kenya with a new constitution.
Let's listen to what he had to say.
Chapter 56, Laws of Kenya, talks about public-owned management. And it is clearly indicated there. If anybody intends to order public gathering, you must inform the local OCS. That is what is provided in the law. The convener to go to the local station commander, sit with the station commander, tell the station commander, this and this day, I'll be having this public gathering. I expect so many people. Then you agree on how security will be provided. If it is a procession, the same thing. You must notify the station commander, the OCS, in charge of where the procession will start from. Then where it will end, you must also have a session with that OCS as the convener. But up to now, as we are talking, up to this moment, nobody at all has notified any of my station commanders about any other meeting on Tuesday. We are not aware about that.
Owidi.
Linda. The spirit of this law was to let the police know that there will be a large gathering, provide security.
Has NASA done that?
It is like me coming here, then I leave here, then I go out there and tell people, I'm not aware that Linda is wearing a red jacket. He's already aware because he knows the date, the time, the people.
No, but have you officially notified the police?
Yes, that has been done. In fact, the letter has been circulating on the social media. This is just to justify his intention to get a few more liters of blood flowing.
The letter should be on your screen. And that letter by...
So when a letter is there, and he still comes to tell us on national media that we have not informed them, he's just denying it because the police is anchored on denials. They deny everything. In fact, if a policeman commits a crime here, as Japheth Kome is standing here. He will deny it and tell us we are going to investigate if he really did it. That's what they are made of. In fact, he's trying to rewrite the laws of Kenya. He's rewriting the laws of Kenya, and I'm sure he probably will not even be qualified to be admitted in the school of law.
Okay, so you're telling me now that NASA has notified the police in writing, officially?
They have notified the police.
Okay, Weda, what are your thoughts? Assuming they have and the police are in possession of that notification, should that gathering still be allowed to go on the day that the president, of course, is going to get sworn in?
You have heard Kome has stated the law, what needs to be done. And then I hear now in the social media.
I have a copy of that letter, Weda.
Written, I have no knowledge, but if it has been written, it is there. And if they are going to do their dance at Jacaranda, I think the only issue would be creating a breach of the peace, harassing people. You could see now how they treat people in Kisumu. I think the police, after a lot of noise...
Who treats people in Kisumu?
The Canaanites.
How do
they put roadblocks and they tax people and they do things. And it appears the police withdrew and said, if that's the way you want it in Canada, let it be. Mpaka, the governor himself just the other day, said, today I'm officially banning demonstrations which are not called by the CORD leader, the NASA leader, because you people have turned it into harassing wananchi. You see some of this, if you are just to go for your ceremony and you leave without harassing people, without violence, there will be no need to fight, to kill. But you see, already will come here and try to paint the way the police are killers and the way they are what. Yet on that day of the airport, I saw vehicles burning. Vehicles were banned
by the police
Please
themselves.
allow me to talk, because we are now talking about life and death. People have died, blood flowing. It is normal. I remember I went to the airport to welcome Honorable Stanley Njindo Matiba in 1992.
You went to the airport, okay.
Yes, when he was coming from abroad.
And there was peace.
The only difference, and that time, President Moi was tough. Nyayo House was alive. Nyati House was there. Some of us had the privilege of being visitors in Nyati House. We knew what time Matiba was coming in. Okay, we knew which leaders were going to receive him right at the airport. And then the Ogargaria like me now were waiting away. But when he came out, when he emerged, then we escorted him all the way to town. Even for Honorable Raila when he was coming from abroad. If his coming was well organized.
It was.
Please let me finish.
Okay.
They would have notified the police that we have these people. These are the leaders who are going to welcome him at the airport. The rest cannot enter the airport. That is
Weda,
just allow me to finish. Unless you people don't want this truth to be told. You don't want this truth to come out.
Okay, go on.
We are going to use this road. Honorable Raila will arrive at this time. He will be received by these people. He will then join these vehicles, and they will be heading straight like this. What happened? Some leaders, some two ladies who I don't know what they had smoked, sneaked into the airport saying, we are trying to look where he will land. That created a problem. Secondly, they did not even know what time I was arriving, which part they were doing. Early in the morning at 6, vehicles were already burning Njogo Road, whichever road, and you then have other people who are not involved asking the police, where are you? And a fight ensues and some people die. I appeal to my people, especially the Luo nation. However aggrieved you are, please don't throw a stone at somebody who is holding a gun. These people are just as mad as we are. They are human beings. They are mad as we are. We are not saying that they are from heaven. Police are not from heaven. Some of them also smoke things that we smoke. So you throw a stone at him, he will also throw the stone he has in his hand. But he has a gun. So please, even you, as you try to dramatize your journey to Canaan, please don't use people so that they get killed. Even Jacaranda, as you go, I have no problem with you going there quietly.
But do it peacefully.
Do it peacefully. But if you go there and throw stones at people and then kick other people's cars, and people will react.
So let me ask you.
God Almighty, please touch their hearts. Touch the heart of Honorable Raila.
Let me ask you.
Yes.
When you went to the airport to receive Matiba, did the police give you protection?
No, they didn't give us protection. Okay? But they didn't interfere with us. They didn't fight us. Because we were not going to... We didn't stone any car. We didn't block anybody. Those days, at least there were fewer cars. And the special branch and the other police were very tough. If they arrested you, coming back you would come back either limping or dead. It wasn't a joke. These days we jump on the sea and say, bring the tear gas. Those days, they will not bring tear gas. No. They will deal with it. But in those circumstances, because things were organized, and the international community, the press were there, we received Honorable Matiang'i. We brought him. You get it? Okay. We have occasionally received Jaramogi, but all these things were organized. Now here you have some 2 ladies and a few people going to the airport. They don't even want to follow the normal channel. And then they go there and they say, we have come to inspect where the Jacom is going to come. Creating chaos.
Yes. So if this can be organized peacefully, the function that's there on Tuesday, you have no problem with it?
Yes, with a caution.
Okay.
That day is a very high security day. Why do we say so? There are several other heads of state in the country. We are living in the era of terrorism. Our bigger enemies can easily take advantage.
Okay.
And that include, please, that include the same gathering. If it is not well structured and well cared for, it is a lot easier for a terrorist to walk in there with bombs. We are, as a country, living under tough times. That is why we need to cooperate with the police. We do not need the lives of Owidi to be just talking and blaming the police and blaming. And meanwhile, now he's guarded by the police himself.
No, Ambrose, you know, you can't lie to the police. You know, Ambrose is talking as if the police decided on the morning when Raila was arriving to disperse NASA. They had promised us they don't want Raila even to come back. They had promised us never to step at the airport. They had promised us that they will open the guns. This committee said they have enough bullets, they have enough tear gas, and they have enough police. Even right now. They tell
a lot of lies. They lie even in the media.
Okay, even right now. You know the way you talk.
What's wrong with you people?
You talk as if NASA, wherever they have a meeting, it will be chaos. We campaigned throughout this country, chaosless.
Okay.
We have met Raila Odinga at the airport before with even larger crowds. There was no chaos because the police didn't intervene. But you see, the fear in this Jubilee government is the biggest problem. Fear until even us sitting here, some people have a problem with it. Because they fear the truth. Okay. They must be told the truth.
I need to take a break before you're watching Crossfire. Thank you for staying with us. We'll come back and listen to NASA leader Raila Odinga talking about the function they will also have on Tuesday, just basically clarifying what exactly it will be. Let's take that break. We'll be back.
This is KTN News.
Calling the young and the limitless, the bold and the fearless. The time is here, the time is not enough with the promises that TBL you can be, you can get it, just believe. Panda mlima shika nyota, never as it seems. Aje, itafanyika aje, aje, itafanyika aje. Tafadhali don't show, had to make real dough, had to get it and plan it. Come a big bro. KCB to G Ajiri, we are the MVPs. Tunasongesha nchi mbele with the crazy skills. Hatukupay $2, tunakuchonga. Tunaleta mentors wa kubonga. Tunaleta window, unasonga. Unapata biz info, unakonka. KCB to G Ajiri, KCB to G 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 Ajiri.
We begin before the sun rises in the city under the sun.
Before your coffee hits the cup, we're at the scene of the big story.
Before you greet your day, I have prepared for you the latest news updates and debates.
Excuse me, I'm not happy.
Really are
No,
because we need to move ahead.
Before you hit the grind, well, I have the best way to keep you company and avoid traffic.
I don't know where you have heard people say that we've cleared that and don't know who.
So if we know who stole the money, why isn't anyone jailed?
So when you start your day, we're here to get you ready.
There is a clear difference on Morning Express.
So join us every Monday to Friday at 5 a.m. and see.
Watch KTN News round the clock on Signet Channel 32, DSTV Channel 274, GoTV Channel 94, Zuku Channel 14, and on Bamba TV Channel 2. This is KTN News.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with Crossfire. So we have, to my immediate right, Odoyo Owidi, who's a political analyst. Right next to him, we have Ambrose Weda, who's a lawyer stroke political analyst as well. Gentlemen, just before you took that break, we were talking about the plans that NASA has. President Uhuru Kenyatta will be sworn in on Tuesday as the President of the Republic of Kenya. On the same day, NASA are also saying they will have a function of their own. Let's listen in to NASA leader Raila Odinga.
On Tuesday, the 28th, when some people will be celebrating, the rest of the Kenyan nation is going to be in mourning. On that day, we will hold a memorial service in honor of this dead at Jacaranda grounds. It is not a public rally. It is a mourning. We are going to be mourning to go and bury our dead who have been killed by a very uncaring regime. And
That's the leader Raila Odinga there saying it is not a rally, we're mourning the dead. And if I may quote him, he said, it will be crazy for any government to arrange for any ceremony when the country is mourning. There should be no celebration at all. Weda, what are your thoughts?
The date of Tuesday is set in the law. Honorable Rengo should have advised Jacom Baba that this Tuesday is not President Uhuru arranging or William Ruto or somebody. It is set, cast in the law 7 days after the declaration. So to say that somebody is arranging is trying to paint a good thing to look bad. I appreciate, I don't want to criticize Jacom at this time. But I appreciate that he also appreciates that we hardly remove bodies on Tuesdays. Unless for political reasons. We hardly hold memorial services on Tuesday. It's normally Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. This one for Tuesday is for political dancing purposes. It is sad, but I know that our God will continue uniting the country. And I know the day Raila declares that we are all united. People like already will change tune the same day. They'll say, we knew, Baba, we knew this was the direction. It is sad, it is unfortunate some people lost their lives. I keep on repeating. And we mourn them, I also mourn them. And I pray that God Almighty may touch their families. But to use it for political reasons is actually to add salt to the injury. I don't think if it was President Zuru's choice, it would have been sworn on Tuesday. It would have been sworn on Friday or Saturday. Tuesday is our working day. Remember, it has to be declared a public holiday. We have been off work because of elections and chaos for almost 3 months. So we would have loved to continue to work. But because of the law, we are going on Tuesday. I wished NASA and the Canaanites and the NRM would have just allowed the country this small moment to do the swearing in. Then the country, as it moves forward, they can continue engaging, talking, debating, working. Even if they want to fight, fighting, but the country is moving. Some of us want to move on as they are on the streets. I would like to continue representing my clients in court. I would like to continue preaching the gospel. But you can't preach when they block the roads.
You're a preacher.
Oh, yes, an evangelist in the Anglican Communion. But you can't preach when they block the roads. People don't come to church. People don't come for meetings. I am pleading to my big brothers, equivalent of my father, Raila Odinga. Please. The country bleeds. We plead with you. Try to cool the country.
I wish you had pleaded with Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto that, please, the country will bleed. Let IEBC hold a free and fair election, which we can verify. You know, if you find that somebody has stolen your cow and you can hear it mowing in his house and refuses to open the door so that you see if it is yours or another color, then definitely there will be war. Please. We cannot, you know, right now, on Tuesday, you go to Langeta Cemetery, you will find people mourning and burying there. You go to Luoland, you will find people mourning there. You go to Kikuyu-land, you will find people mourning there. So there is no law that stops people from burying their dead on Tuesday, from mourning their dead on Tuesday. Let those who are happy go and dance. But for us, we are having a lot of pain in our hearts, and we will be mourning on Tuesday. There are no 3 laws in Kenya, one for NASA, one for Jubilee elites, and one for ordinary Kenyans. I know ordinary Kenyans, wherever they are, can do anything they want on Tuesday, including mourning and burying. The Jubilee will be celebrating their theft at Safari Park, or sorry, Kasarani. And NASA will be mourning their dead at Jacaranda. If you think this is a free Kenya and you believe in freedom and liberty, let all these groups do what they ought to do on that day, so that we can have peace. Why does the police want to interfere with NASA? Let them then go around the country looking for anybody mourning on Tuesday and disperse those mournings. Because why is it this one that they are going to disperse? It means they fear that Raila Odinga probably is holding 75% of Kenyans, and they only have 10 with them, and the rest will be in the countryside.
Okay, so the next probable conversation that people are going to have is how then do you move this country forward? Because right now we have a very polarized country, divided probably right down the middle. Could we listen into what President Uhuru Kenyatta had to say at Huruma Redeemed Gospel Church today?
Ninasema kwa wenzangu, jameni, tumepiga siasa ya kutosha. Sasa njooni tufanye kazi, tupangilie vile wa Kenya watafaidi. Na tuendelee mbele.
The moment for politics is now behind us. We must now unite, work together, build bridges across all communities, all political divides, and move Kenya forward.
That was not in church. I think that was on Friday. Sorry? Okay, Owidi, how then do you get to a point where we move this country forward? Because the president says his first agenda is to ensure the country is peaceful and united after divisive politics.
First of all, you cannot move this country forward without a free, fair, and verifiable election.
So in other words, you guys are still having a conversation about having another
election? We love to
election.
have that until it is done. 2, look, President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto went to a church and prayed. The only difference between this and what NASA is having on Tuesday is that ours will be outdoor because the crowds we expect will be bigger. I don't think somebody should interfere with any prayer. Whether we are praying for ourselves or whether we are praying for our dead, it is prayer. Prayers are solemn and peaceful things. I listened to Raila Odinga very carefully say, this is not even a political rally. It is a prayer. Why should the police in Kenya interfere with prayer? Are the police in Kenya a law unto themselves? In any case, Weda knows, there is no law in Kenya which allows the police to shoot on sight anybody breaking the law. No law allows that. Arrest them and take them to court. They go through the due process and let them be.
Owede, listening into the two leaders, clearly they know that there's a problem. They're trying to bridge that divide. Is that? They
are not bridging the divide. They want peace now to start looting Kenya again. If we are going to have a swearing-in ceremony with 384 million, collecting people at Kasarani, building dice and providing chairs and a Bible, we are paying 384 million. Yet our children are yet to go to school. Our university lecturers have not been paid yet. Let us be people who take care of a nation. If you are the president of a republic like Kenya, please take care of everyone, Luo, Loya, Kisii, Kikuyu, everybody. Take care of them. Ensure that people who have guns in their hands don't murder them at will. Ensure that their rights are not violated at any time, now or in the future. That is when you will unite this country. But you not will unite this country by word of mouth, going to speak in a church with your nose in the air, and you are telling us to unite. You want peace so that you continue destroying this country.
Hey, okay, Weda.
I think the heat in the desert on the way to Canada has gotten into the heads of these guys.
Yeah.
One, let me make 3 things which are clear. Number one.
Oh, listen.
There will be no other election until 2022 August. Any dreams requires a referendum to change those dates and do elections. Elections could have been done if the elections of the 26th were nullified by the Supreme Court. Because they were not nullified, the rest are dreams. It is good to dream. The Bible says men shall dream dreams. But whether they will come on elections, I am telling you as a lawyer and as a Kenyan, there will be no elections unless President Uhuru dies and William Ruto also dies. Then we hold election. And God forbid they are not going to, they are very young and robust. So let us not dream that bringing the country together, all this will mean elections. Let NASA forget that. Let NRM or whoever they are, or Canaanites, forget that. I said, even if they go the secession way, history is replete with examples. They'll have to shed blood for over 20 years. South Sudan, wherever, Bosnia, Herzegovina, they have to fight for 20 years. Then there will be a peace accord. Then they will do the boundaries and so. So within the next 5 years, the kind of unity the president, I think, is looking at the unity of Kenyans. And if Jacom is willing to join the president so that we unite Kenya and it moves, it will be the best. But crying foul, there were no elections, we want this election. Elections were boycotted by some people on misadvice from some lawyers.
But let me see, that also brings another problem, Weda, because I'd like us to listen to what former Ochako Senator Johnston Muthama had to say at that fundraiser that NASA had for victims of the protests. Could we listen into that?
Mimi vile ninasimama hapa, nataka mutoke na moyo mmoja. Hatutambui serikali ya Uhuru Kenyatta. Resist. Hatutambui Uhuru Kenyatta kama rais wa Kenya. Na mimi nina resist kutoka dakika hii mpaka siku ile atatoka katika hiyo kiti. Lazima tumtoe, tutamtoa kwa haki, kwa sheria, na hatutababaika. So Kenyans, be firm and be courageous.
I was saying 3 things. I said only one.
Okay, you said one. There will be no election. Number 2.
Let the Luo nation prepare. Chances are 90% that Honorable Raila Odinga is retiring from politics, whether willingly or by virtue of time and age. Let us as a community face the facts and start preparing. If you are preparing Owede here, let's be ready. If you are preparing who, let's be ready. But living in denial as a community, when other communities are prepared, young people, the more comments, the who are ready. You saw the team elected by the Kalenjins. Young people, for another 30 years, they will be in the field, as we will be mourning. Luckily, when Jaramogi died, we had Honorable Raila Odinga, we had Honorable Matiang'i, we had Orengo, we had Professor Umamoga. Now, we only have Muthama, we only have Owede here, all talking. So let us prepare for that fact. Removing President Uhuru and Ruto from power, especially through clenching your fist, resist, don't do Safaricom, don't do this, will not be enough. Number 3, your voice only counts when you are strong. And your strength is basically how economic you are strong as a community. You saw your own candidate already.
Yes.
Honorable Raila Odinga.
Yes.
When it came to second round,
yes.
Now he had to resort to M-Pesa.
Yes.
To raise funds to do elections.
Of course, because...
Now, after him, he's the only one, even from the Luo nation, who can stand and fund election. Me and Owidi here, we can't even fund MCA. You do it halfway and start complaining. You want to steal certificate, you want to steal
take a break. I'm not part of that conversation.
I'm speaking to my community, it is time also to try a new method. Can we not try cooperation and tell Uhuru and Ruto, my brothers and sisters, hold our hands. Moi held your hands. Hold our hands. We also want this seat. But just hanging on, weighing on Jacom now is being advised by the likes of Modama. Surely.
There's a problem.
There's a big problem.
From where you sit.
Yeah,
okay, so as
these 3 points, you let me talk about it.
Okay, I want to give you I want to give you time to talk about it, but then could we also just line up what President Uhuru had to say about analysts, then that's what we'll finish. This. About analysts. Don't address that now, or we did just respond to what's... No, not now. So we did...
Okay.
What Weda said?
Weda, first he said that there is no election up to 2022. There's no problem with that. You probably read that in the Constitution. But this arrogance you are exhibiting here, the same one William Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta, Murkomen, Duale, and all your lieutenants are exhibiting, is the same arrogance Rehoboam, son of Solomon, exhibited in 1 Kings chapter 12. When he had already been inaugurated at Shechem,
in Canaan,
the Israelites told him, your father made the Lord very big for us. He used to punish us with the whips. Please make the Lord know we will follow you. The NASA people has told Uhuru Kenyatta, let's have a free and fair election. Let our people celebrate. Let our people meet their leader. Let our people pray for their dead. They say no. Because he's getting advice from the people who are interested in him having absolute power.
Okay.
He does not want to go and get advice from people who know.
All right.
After he had been inaugurated at Shechem, Rehoboam, son of Solomon, Jeroboam, son of Nebat, the son of Zeruiah.
If you start getting into the Bible, I have like 2 minutes to wrap this thing up.
And you know what happened?
What?
Israel was split into 2, not equal parts. The incumbent Rehoboam only went with 2 kingdoms. And Jeroboam went with 10.
Okay.
I can foresee it happening in Kenya very soon.
Could we listen to what the president, had to say about political analysts? Because you are one, and I'll give you 30 seconds each. Could we play that?
Wizi hata mimi nimechoka kuangalia TV. Ni ya nini? Hata kusoma gazeti. Kila saa, kila siasa. Sijui mtu anajiita analyst. Kama ulikuwa hii analyst hii kila siku. Na siasa una-analyze nini?
With just Weda, 30 seconds. Muna analyze nini? Mumefanya angalia.
Please give me those minutes of his.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Number 1, it's unfortunate that some people call themselves Jeroboam, Rehoboam, Joshua, and so on. Our Lord Almighty, please touch their hearts. What I'm saying, the president is saying, let us heal the country.
Great.
These divisive things that people like Owedi and sometimes even Weda talk about, so extreme, it is time to bury them and move
Slow
as a country.
down. Okay, yes. 30 seconds.
If somebody was to steal from my house and the police are all over the place looking for him, he would pray that the police withdraw and there be peace, he enjoys his loot. Right now, President Uhuru Kenyatta doesn't want any political analysis anymore because it is exposing him. He doesn't want to hear the truth. The truth is this election was stolen.
Good.
And he shouldn't eat it in peace.
That would be a nice place to end this. Odoyo Widi, political analyst, and Ambrose Weda, lawyer, political analyst. You guys the president is not very happy with you anyway. All right, people, good night. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching Crossfire. Let's do this again next Sunday. And we'll analyze the political happenings in the country for the entire week. I'm Linda Guto. Have a good night. Yvonne Okwara Matoli is up next with Checkpoint in 10 minutes, I think, yeah.